The relationship between politics and trade cannot be underrated, explaining why incorporating aspects about the recently launched Common Market Protocol in the presidential candidates' manifestos is to many a do-or-die issue. While there is belief that several candidates have tried to answer various challenges to Uganda's internal trade, there is also consensus that not much commitment has been put into addressing challenges towards regional trade.
We want to see better border infrastructure. We want to see improved security of the trade value chain.
The deepening understanding and administration of trade rules of origin in the East African region is basically aimed to highlight some of those issues further.
For any businessman, it is about money. And to compete, especially at the regional level, the cost of money, which today remains a touchy issue, especially for traders in the commercial business segment, has to be addressed. So far, there has been little mention of this in almost all the presidential manifestos.
People want to see better access to finance for business. And in this case, in the perspective of the regional trade, we want to look at trade finance.
But we've seen more banks coming in, but the question is, have the interest rate spreads come down? Of course, there are very many issues like credit risk that banks talk about, but how is government in waiting going to handle some of these things?
The quest for one market has been embraced under auspices of the common market. Experts, however, say that they are yet to hear any promises towards harmonizing business governance standards to foster this thinking.
And you'll find that the tax regime in itself is still so high, and it discourages a lot of consumption and trade.
Simplifying business procedures. There's quite a number of issues related to trading across borders, paying taxes, registering a business. These are issues that we want to see.
There are issues of tariffs, electricity. For example, it's becoming a big issue. Actually, most of our traders here have found it very expensive to do business around, and a number of them are going away to do business elsewhere where they will find the cost fairly cheaper.
For a government already riddled with a small tax base, taxation is an issue candidates will most likely talk about cautiously. Unfortunately, in a single regional market arrangement, it complicates the operational costs of businessmen here that are keen to tap the opportunities.
I think the business concept in politics is not yet popular. By the way, let me tell you that the business community in Uganda bankrolls most of the political manifestos in the country. But ironically, none of the manifestos portrays a dichotomy of how it is going to address most of the constraints that our business people face.
So really, we are not very excited as the business community when we hear the manifestos being floated around.
On the other hand, the business community have their share of blame. The failure to seize politics as a window of opportunity to state their case.
It is the usual politicization, it is the usual canvassing of votes. We don't think they are really very serious about addressing issues of solving the very, very, very big macroeconomic problems.
I think the business community of Uganda has not galvanized its force and its support to put the politicians to mainstream most of their business concerns in their manifestos.
The manifestos that have been launched so far, candidates clearly appear to have adopted an inward posture, focusing more on problems specific to Uganda, relegating regional issues to the periphery. Not much attention has been given to the small business person, beside what can pass as idle talk that such businesses are the country's engine of growth.
Governments have agreed to recapitalize or to refinance regional banks. And I think it is an important opportunity for the business community. In one way, it will increase access to finance. Secondly, it should be also be made to simplify access to lines of credit.
We are talking about the life in a day of a businessman like this one, whose business ideally requires capital. He pays rent and possibly has a family and earns about 5,000 every day. Have the presidential candidates addressed the needs of such people in this economy? Tom Magumba, NTV.